Yes, good morning, everyone. So yesterday we had first demo session, right? So I uploaded this demo session in our YouTube channel. You can find supply chain management demo one. And today we are going to have second demo session. So before we go for second demo, we'll just have a recap of the first one, what we have discussed in our previous. So any doubts in the last class, what we have discussed? Anybody would like to talk with me, please? Fine. So last class we talked about what is cloud, what are different cloud companies we have in the market, why the clients are looking for cloud environment, and who are the competitors for Oracle Fusion Cloud, what is Fusion applications, what are different tools and products available in cloud, and what is Fusion application supply chain management, what is advanced supply chain management. This is what we are going to get training, advanced supply chain management, inventory purchasing, supplier portal. What are different types of jobs we find in Fusion Cloud Supply Chain Management, both functional as well as technical, and how the projects we get from companies, and what functional consultant responsibility, what is technical consultant responsibility. That's what we discussed. And we also created a sample user, and we have seen how to add implementation roles to the user, how the user can log in and perform the actions. That's what we have done. That's what we have discussed. Okay. So today we are going to talk about the detailed syllabus. First, we see detailed syllabus copy, what we are going to learn in the next level. And then we are going to talk about FSM environment, functional setup manager, and then security console. What is meant by security console? We are going to discuss. And then we'll be discussing how to set up employee, how to set up buyer, how to create supplier, so that you will have an idea what we do in the cloud environment, what will be our responsibility. These are our basic setups. We do it for every client. Configuration of employee, configuration of buyer, and then setting up the options like employee, create buyer account, and other options here. That's what we are going to do it here. Okay, that's going to be the topics today. Okay, so first we'll come back to detailed syllabus. As I said earlier, supply chain management, it was okay in the market, in the IT market. They were expecting inventory purchasing, order management. That's okay, fine. But when we are talking about advanced supply chain management, uh, then we need to go with all these modules. This is called advanced supply chain management. First, we will be talking about inventory module, and then purchasing, supplier portal, supplier sourcing. This all we are going to have it. Okay, let me copy this. Fine. So first inventory module. So here I have written the complete syllabus copy. Functional modules. We'll talk about vision, product management, material management, indirectly inventory module. Then we'll be working with purchasing module, self-service procurement, sourcing, supplier portal, supplier qualification, order management, distributed order orchestration, pricing administration, pricing process that we are going to do it here. Then costing, receipt accounting, and also integration with the GLAP AR here. Here we go with all functional modules here, end to end. End to end we are going to discuss. With this functional, as I said, when we are applying as experienced consultant in the cloud supply chain management, definitely they will expect approvals from us. That's what we call it as a BPM workflow. We call it as BPM workflow. We should be clear with this. It's required as a functional consultant, we are supposed to do. Even it is a job of technical consultant also, but we should do as functional. Even data migrations also. How to migrate the data, what are different stages in the data migration, what are different tools we have in the data migration, how to audit data migration and report this all information. And reporting part, actually, this is technical. Reporting, we don't need much, but we provide the technically whatever is required. As we committed, we are ready to give you the complete part of technical. We provide you the videos of the technical. So if you are interested, you can go ahead with technical. That's going to be an a bonus for the people who has joined for this particular course. Roles and security is our job. It's a functional consultant job. Workflow notifications, AMU rules, value sets, flex fields, and lookups, FSM. So here in the technically, only the BI reports, business intelligence report, is a purely technical job where we have to write SQL queries, simple and complex SQL queries, and we have to build the reports as per the client's requirement here. Okay, so when it comes to the the technical part, the remaining all also technical, but still we also should be clear. Okay, as I said, we are going to do all these live sessions. What I am telling is even BI reports also, we provide you the technical videos. If somebody wants to be strong in the technical side also, yes, they can go ahead here. Okay. Yeah. So that's summary information about the syllabus, functional as well as the technical. Let me go through first. First module will complete FSM, functional setup manager. It's very basic module like admin. We complete this one. And then security console also, enterprise structure configuration. These all are basics that we will complete here. And then first module is inventory module. So we'll be doing the setups and configurations in inventory module. After we complete setups and configuration, we are supposed to test it. We have to perform the transactions and then we are supposed to test. That's what we are going to do. Any module, first we do the setups and configurations and then we go for test it. Then we'll go for deliver to the client. That's how we do it, right? Okay, first inventory module, we perform all these transactions, inventory transactions, inventory controls, inventory replenishments, and inventory accruals method. This all we are going to do and deliver to the client. That's the first one. That is first one. Next, second, vision procurement module. When I say procurement module, it includes purchasing, supplier portal, supplier sourcing, supplier qualification, procurement contracts, self-service procurement. All these six modules, we should be strong end to end, because all these modules has got success in the cloud market. Excellent feedback clients are giving for these modules because everything is digitalized, communicating with the supplier, tracking the information, bidding information, quotations, quote analysis, analytics. So everything is built in, and we got very good feedback from the client. So every client is going to implement all these modules. Earlier, what happened? Clients were implementing only one module, it was purchasing. But now the clients are going ahead with all these sub-modules also. That's why, as I said, we should be very strong in all these areas. And we have to keep it in our resume saying that we did the setups and configurations and testing and training and we delivered to the client. That's what we are supposed to specify in our profile. And of course, we are supposed to learn also. Okay. And then let me just open the syllabus copy of this purchasing module. We'll talk about purchasing module setups and how we work with approvals in purchasing module, setting up the supplier life cycle, supplier approval process, and also configuration of the accounting, transaction accounting builder. This is very important, TAD accounting options. So we'll be discussing how to manage all these transaction accounting definitions, setting up the rules, different types of rules we'll go for specify. This all we'll mention, and procurement transactions, creating the suppliers, creating requisitions and setting up the dashboards and creating purchase order approvals agreements and how to receive the goods from the supplier with direct standard inspection required, how we configure unordered receipts, blind receiving, approved supplier lists, pay and receipt and all. Then supplier portal will be discussing. We'll be configuring self-service procurement next. And then we are going to have fusion sourcing module, how to configure negotiation templates, negotiation styles. And we talk about RFI, request for information, request for quotation, how to enable award process, sourcing approvals, surrogate responses, online messages. This is all we do. Then supplier qualification. This is how to make the supplier is qualified or not as per our requirement and setting up the questionnaire section for this here. And then order management. End-to-end order management process will be discussing how to set up the order items, how to make the items or sales items, setting up the supply chain orchestration process, very important. Order management roles and pricing strategies, price list, discount list, shipping list, and setting up the tier-based different types of discount list. Very important GOP process. Global order promising. It's as simple as when you are, booking online. For example, you go to Amazon and you are going to select the items and book the order, and you will enter PIN code. Based on the PIN code, system will tell you the delivery date, availability date for delivery, right? That's what we call it as a GOP, global order promising. So you are going to promise when you will deliver the product to your customer. If the items are available in your warehouse, immediately. If not, when you will get it. If not available in any of your warehouses, you will try to get it from some other supplier and deliver it. So this all we call it as a GOP engine process. And key functionalities and what are the rules, sourcing rules and all. We have different cycles in order management, like standard sales order, ship only, RMA, return material authority, and back-to-back orders, drop shipment, and invoice creations, complete auto invoice, order to cash cycle. So this all we will be working here. So complete back-to-back supply chain creation, drop shipment sales order, internal sales order. This is all we are going to do it. So order management point of view, we will be discussing end to end with all the setups, whatever we have, that we will be doing it. That's going to be our order management. Next, when it comes to the costing, it is very important. As I said, nowadays clients are going to implement cost management because it's got stabilized. This module also got stabilized. So costing, we need to understand the basics. What is meant by costing, different types of costings, methods, how to implement this costing at item level, distribution level, and where do we enable the account, right? So those all we'll be discussing. And receipt accounting, receipt level, procure to pay, receipt accounting, how we do it at period end, this all. And BPM is nothing but a business process management, which we find in almost every module, okay? And this is indirectly approvals. Approval point of view, it will be used, okay? And that we will be discussing. And of course, it's mandatory requisition approvals, purchase order approvals, supplier approvals, item approvals, right? This is all required. And obviously, when we say supply chain management consultant, we should have some integration with finance modules, payables. It means procure to pay cycle and order to cash cycle. Whenever we purchase the goods from supplier, obviously we receive the items from supplier into our inventory. Then we are supposed to raise the invoices here, right? And you are supposed to make the payments and invoice accounts, payment accounts, we have to transfer to GL. All these accounting entries are very important in the entry point of view. They'll ask us what are different accounting entries while receive the items, while create invoice, while making the payment. These all accounting entries we should be having on our fingertips. Accrual account, liability account, this all. So we'll be discussing about that. So procure to pay cycle, order to cash cycle will have detailed information, both the cycles. And as I said, technical topics of the basics which we required. And we also provide the recorded sessions for the technical in-depth. If somebody wants to upgrade their own, you can go ahead with that. Okay. So that's optional, as I said, but as we are going to provide and that free of cost for the technical point of view, if somebody wants to go for, if they can go, otherwise they can leave. So the technical modules here, whatever I have specified, this all will be discussing in depth except this BI and OTBA, because BI and OTBA will talk of basics only. That is required for functional consultant, basic, not much required here. Okay. So that's about the detailed syllabus here. So any doubts here, please, regarding syllabus point of view?
Hi, thank you for the details. So I have a quick question on that order management related topics.
Yeah.
So you mentioned basically the standard order and the back-to-back and the dropship, right?
Yes.
So would you be covering the related to the CTO, ATO,
We'll
and
be
those type of
discussing the definition point of view and navigations and setups required, but may not be able to execute practically, but we'll try to do that up to the theoretical point of view as well as setup point of view.
understood? Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one question. Like in Oracle R12, we have this, custom master to manage the sites and everything build to ship to. So where it will be covered over here?
You're talking about customer configuration, TC architecture, is it?
Correct, correct, correct. Because
Yeah,
that is
wait.
needed.
It comes obviously in the order to cash cycle when we are discussing. And of course, when we are creating the order, sales order, in the beginning itself, we'll go through order to cash and we'll create a new customer site, customer account, customer profile, and how to associate this customer with business units and use that new customer in our sales order. There it will come up. So AR module we are going to have the business flow in order to cash. That time we'll do the customer. So obviously, when we are working with procure to pay, supplier setup is important. Same thing in when we are working with order to cash cycle, customer setup is important. That week.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Someone was trying to connect, but they were not able to do. Now, okay, it's fine. So that's about the detailed syllabus copy about our advanced supply chain management course here. I'll also attach this detailed syllabus copy with this document, with this video. I'll keep this video also in YouTube, second video. Then you can go through that. Okay. Next. Now we are going for FSM environment. When we are working with fusion applications, FSM environment is mandatory. We should understand how to work with FSM. We call it as Functional Setup Manager. FSM stands for Functional Setup Manager. In the name itself, we can find functional setups. As a functional consultant, what we are going to do in this environment, we are going to do the functional setups. And we are supposed to manage those setups. The meaning of manage is create, update, delete, enable, disable. These all things we call it as a management. Supplier setup, customer setup, item setups and accounting setups, ledger setup, organization setup. This all we are going to do it. We call it as indirectly admin environment. We call it as indirectly admin environment. If we want to access this functional setup manager, we should have the role called application implementation consultant role. Application implementation consultant role. Obviously, it is required for functional consultant as well as for technical consultant also. Okay. So for example, you join in the company and they assign the project. Let's say project is already started. You join in the project in the mid and they given credentials to you and just they have asked you to log in and cross check. The first thing what we have to do, whether we have the access to application implementation consultant role or not. This role is assigned for our username or not. That we have to find out. Okay. So now let me show you how to do this. So once we log into the applications, okay, let me remove this URL after .com, then it works. So this is our Fusion Applications environment. When we go to user menu right side, we find setup and maintenance. This is nothing but FSM environment. Functional setup manager. Functional setup manager. Okay. And if we go to next navigator, we see the transactions here. 90% our work will be here only. 90% our work only here, setup and maintenance. Yesterday class we created a user account, right? We created user account yesterday. Aris, let me go to navigator, tools menu, security console. I just wanted to show you the user account, Harish. Press enter. This is what user account we created. We added two roles, application implementation consultant role and also IT security manager. Now we are talking about this application implementation consultant. So now Harish has got the role called application implementation consultant. So he can access FSM environment. Let me enter these details here. Go to username here. Now I can find this setup and maintenance because you got the role called application implementation consultant role. Application implementation, setup and maintenance. Go to setup and maintenance. This environment we call it as FSM environment, functional setup manager. Indirectly we can also call it as admin access. We can also call it as admin access here. Okay. And I would like to know what are the applications are available. We discussed that Fusion Applications is one of the cloud ERP product here. It is one of the cloud ERP product we discussed. When we say ERP, obviously we see finance, supply chain, human capital, CRM like this. Any ERP, whether you take SAP, definitely there will be SAP Finance, SAP Supply, SAP HR, SAP CRM. If you go to Workday also, you will find. You go to Salesforce, you will find. And one more I forgot yesterday, Microsoft Dynamics, but not that much famous. But Microsoft also, we know that one of the leading company in IT. So Microsoft Dynamics also is one of the ERP application. It's there since 2002, I think so, 2002 or 3, till that time, till that date. Now also it is there. It is also cloud ERP, but not up to the SAP or Fusion or Workday, Salesforce level of that. Okay, Microsoft Dynamics. So now once we log into the applications, I want to know what are the applications client subscribed or got license. What are different offerings? Go to actions menu, go to offerings. Here we can find out what are the offerings clients implemented or they got the license. Okay. So financials, when we choose financials, where is that? Here, click on this financials enabled. It means your client has got license. So client wants to implement the financials. Supply chain management, manufacturing and supply chain management, we can find here. Then order management. order management. Then procurement, we can find here. I just wanted to show you what are different offerings are available in Fusion Cloud ERP and what are the offerings our client has got subscribed. Our client got subscribed here, subscription. These all are public sector, code enforcement, code permits, and planning and zoning, recruitment and candidate experience, nothing but ORC, Oracle Recruitment Cloud, public sector business licenses. So if the government if the government sector is interested to go for implementing this, then it's going to be used. Okay, project financial management. Product management is nothing but our inventory module. Product management is nothing but our inventory module here it is. And we also find other risk management, student material, supply chain planning, like this sales and service workforce development, HCM. This all comes under HCM, human capital management. Workforce means it's an employee structure. We find here workforce deployment, development, compensation plans and all. Okay. So, but we don't require other things. At this point of time, we are working for supply chain management, right? So when we say supply chain management, what are the things we are supposed to take care first? We have to go with the inventory model. Where is inventory? Product management. Here I can find product management, inventory module enabled. Next, we also find supply chain material management. This next procurement here. Here we can find procurement. Order management. Here I can find order management. So these things we have to verify. We also find related documents. It's not required at this point of time. But once we do this all training and complete it, when we are discussing about the project, whenever we are preparing the resume preparation, then we will go ahead with the options here. We'll go ahead with the options. Okay. So this is about the FSM environment here, functional setup manager. So whenever we want to perform some functional setups, what we have to do, we have to enter into the environment called FSM. It's indirectly admin access. Which role is required? Application implementation consultant role. So here only we do all our setups. Next, security console. So what is security console? Security console is basically to manage the security. Security means indirectly username as well as role name, right? Indirectly managing the user's information as well as managing the roles information. That's what we call it as security. Okay, it's very important as a functional consultant. Once we do all our functional setups, then we have to give this application access to client. It means client employees will start using this product day-to-day activities. Day-to-day, they will be using these applications here. Day-to-day, they will be using these applications. Okay, so we are supposed to create user accounts and then provide the role, means application access as well as data access to the users. And this is our responsibility as a functional consultant, configuration of users, configuration of roles. We have standard roles. For every module, Oracle provided around 6 to 7 roles given by Oracle. We call it as seeded roles. But as per the client requirement, we are supposed to customize these roles and we are also supposed to uh, create new roles. We call it as custom roles. So we are supposed to create a new roles and configure it. Okay, that's the responsibility that comes from the security console. So which role is required to work with security console? IT security manager. IT security manager. So this role is required to enter into the environment called security console. If we want to enter into the environment called security console, it will be used. Okay, let's log into the application. Go to navigator. Mr. Harish has got the access to this role also, IT security manager. We find here tools menu, security console, tools menu, security console here. Here I'll do the user management. Here we do the user management. Here we do the role management. Here we do the role management. We'll be able to search different types of roles and we will have different types of roles here. job role, duty role, abstract roles, and other. And we'll be talking about this one by one, how to customize, how to implement, what are different processes we have to execute. And we'll have different categories. So we'll have user categories, how to work with single sign-on, authentication, administration process. Whenever we customize the role, we are supposed to cross-check the role status, this all. It's purely our job only. Of course, technical guys also will do, but as a functional consultant, we are also supposed to involve in the user management, role management, security management, approval management. We'll be discussing all these options in depth. Okay. So FSM and security console, these two things are required to work as a functional consultant in the project. Then only we can customize the product, we can configure the product, we can enhance the product, and then we can go for deliver it to the client. Okay. So what we understand now here is the moment when we log into Fusion applications, there will be two menus. One is user menu, where we perform all our functional setups and configuration. 99% our work will be here only. We do all our setups and configuration. For example, we have done the enterprise setup and we configured items, item controls, and item transaction setups. Now I wanted to test because without testing, we can't deliver to client. Once we configure item controls, we have to test this item controls are working or not with the different scenarios. Different scenarios we have to take and test it and deliver it. So that we have to do it in the navigator. So navigator menu is like an end user job or employee user account, like supervisors and the procurement associates, sales associates, admin, inventory managers. These people are going to use the navigator. Okay, so then why we required a navigator is obviously we are supposed to test the product and give it to the client. Let's say we configured min-max planning is setups. Whether it is working min-max planning or not, we are supposed to test, right? Min-max means what is the minimum quantity you wanted to configure for item, what is the maximum quantity you are going to configure. In case if less than that quantity is available, then from where system should pick up that item, whether it should get from other sub inventory or it should get from other inventory or it should get it from supplier. For that we have to configure transfer orders. Okay, so this all we have done, but obviously we are supposed to test it, right, with multiple items, multiple scenarios, and then finally we can say that yes, whatever the setups and configurations we have done, it's success, right? So that's the reason we will be having both navigator access as well as user access, both. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is simple. Three setups I'm going to do. The first one is I would like to have an employee, and then I would like to make that employee as a buyer. He can buy the materials from the suppliers. I'm going to configure employee as a buyer. Then I would like to give the permission for that employee saying that you can create your own supplier. So if you want to create a supplier, you need a role called supplier manager. That's what I'm going to attach to the employee. Okay. So first we'll see how to configure employee. It's very simple setup. Go to setup and maintenance. Employee is a global, right? We find employees in finance, we find employees in supply chain, human capital, everywhere. So it doesn't mean that you have to choose procurement or order management or supply chain management or inventory. Okay, so you can go for any module. You can also choose the human capital management and you can go for create employee. So at this point of time, I'm selecting procurement. Let me choose procurement here. Go to the task, manage user. Manage users. So here, if you want to search existing persons, means existing employees, you can search. If you want to create new employee, you can go for create. Here we enter employee details, employee personal details, employee name, title, email ID, phone number, when employee joined in the company, fax details. And this is employee user account. If user account is already there, you can link with the existing user accounts. How you would like to deliver your employee username and password? Do you want to send any notification? You can do that. And employment, whether he is a permanent employee or contract employee or ex-employee, Like that, we can specify employment type. And once you choose, if at all you would like to set who is the manager for this employee, you can specify. Default roles, if you want to assign, you can go for assign. Automatic roles, basic roles, if you want to assign, you can assign. This is the page where we are going to create employee. I'm going to specify the employee name as Mr. Nitin Kumar. Let's say employee joined in 2024, 1 year back. And I would like to have the name as Nitin, username. I would like to have Nitin. And he is employee for our company. So choose the employee. The moment when we choose employee, system is asking what is your company name and what is your branch. Its legal employer is nothing but your client company, name of the company. So I'm using this here, US1 business unit. Here it is. So US1 business unit we are going to have. Let me choose this here, US1 business unit. Just 1 minute. This is built-in company name. But when we are working in the real time, we are supposed to go for new one. We are supposed to go for new one. That we will discuss with the client and we'll go for configure it. Next, business unit is nothing but a branch. Which branch you are working, that we will choose here. Name of the branch, US1 branch. If you want to set up the job name, grade name, department name, and all, we will go for save and close here. Yeah. Any
Chandra,
doubts here, please?
hi Chandra. Sorry to disturb. I think screen is got stuck. Can you just reshare your screen?
Oh, is it? Oh, is
Yeah,
it clear?
now it's clear. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry, it is. Yeah, tell. Any doubts here? Now we done the employee account here. Let me check this, Nitin. Click search button. Next, let's go to navigator. For every employee, we require user account. When you are working in the real time, obviously your employee required the username and password, right? So that then you will be able to log in and perform the actions, right? Otherwise, you will not be able to log in. So go to user account, tools menu, security console. Go to users tab here. And search for user account. What is the user account, Nitin?
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but I have one question. So, cannot
Please.
we make one user from here itself? Add user, just Nitin, you made it from there, right? So
This
can we
is
make it?
implementation user, not employee user.
Okay, okay, okay. No.
Here, what we can do is we can make the implementation user, not employee user.
So one thing, so on making any particular user as an employee user, what is the correct flow? First, we need to create an employee and then user, or first we create a user and then employee.
Sorry, which one?
So for the employee users, My question is that whether we can give the first access to the Oracle, like creating a user and then making it an employee, or first we need to create an employee and then.
Yes. And we have to create the employee and then user account. That's a standard procedure. We are supposed to
Okay.
do it.
So we can go vice versa as well, right?
No, see, for example, let's say I'll tell you, I'll make it very simple. So as we discussed yesterday, once client get the software from Oracle Corporation, once they get license, they give the project to TCS or someone else. Okay. So Oracle partners, let's say TCS has got project. So around 10 people we are going to involve. Out of 10, 6 functional consultants and 3 technical consultant and 1 project manager. These all 10 members are implementation users. First implementation users will be created for all these 10 members. So we are going to log in, both functional team as well as technical team, right? So functional team, we do the functional setups, technical team will do the technical setups here, both.
Right.
Okay. Once we implement the product, we implemented this entire product around 6 months or 1 year. Then who will use this software? Client employees, right? Xerox company employees, procurement team, finance team, sales team, HR team, whoever is employees, they are there, they are going to use this product. They are not implementation users, they are end users, or we call it as employee users, right? Okay. So here they are going to log in and start working. They are going to log in and start working. So that time we do like this employee user account.
Right.
Okay. So once the project is started in the initial stage, we create user accounts here directly and we do the setups. After that, we go for configure the employees and create user account and test it and deliver to the client. Client will start using it.
Right.
Yeah. Is clear everybody about implementation user and employee user? Any doubts here?
Hi Chandra.
Yeah.
Suppose 10 or 15 employee users have the same roles. So can't we create all 15 members at one shot, or we need to do manually one by one?
We can go for load the data. For example, client says that I have 20,000 employees, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
20,000 employees data, we need to go for import. But employee data import is not supply chain management consultant job. It is human capital management job. We call it as worker loading. So that will be
Okay.
done by the HR person.
Okay.
For example, supply chain management point of view, our job is like supplier loading, customer loading, items loading, sales orders loading, purchase orders. That's our job. Okay. When
Okay.
it comes to the HR point of view,
Mm,
they
mm.
will be loading. But as a supply chain also, if I say that I configured sales order, I wanted to test, I should have basic idea. Okay, how to create username and how to create employee name, how to test it, right? That's why we have done
Okay.
now.
So even if they won't take it HCM, then SCM has to do it, right?
Yes,
If a
yes,
client is taken only SCM or finance, then
yes,
SCM people or finance people has to do it.
yes, yes,
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
yes. Okay, fine. So now we have done employee setup and also user setup. For that employee, we configured user account, right? Now, Mr. Nitin wants to create supplier. Nitin wants to create a supplier. Go to edit. Which role is required? Basic role, employee role will be there. That is required. That is self-service information. We call it as ESS, employee self-service. This is required for everybody. Every employee required. When employee wants to check their pay slips, employee wants to apply for a leave, employee wants to involve in some voting, employee wants to update their certification details or their profile information, we use this. Okay, basic role, employee role is required. Next, the second one is I'm going to specify that supplier manager because Mr. Nitin wants to create supplier. So I'm assigning the role called supplier manager. Assign this role, supplier manager. That's so if we want to configure the supplier, which role is required? Supplier manager role is required. Let's go for save and close. Save and close here. Okay, and I'm going to reset the password because I would like to log in with Nitin username. Let's go for reset the password here. And go to setup and maintenance. I would like to make this employee as a buyer. So I'll show you why we have to make it as a buyer. Let me log in without buyer. Now, Mr. Nitin is just employee, he is not a buyer. I have not done buyer setup. Without having buyer setup, I'm just trying to create a supplier. It will allow supplier creation, but supplier site creation, it will ask you, you must be a buyer. If you are not a buyer, then uh, if you are not buyer, then you cannot create supplier site. Okay. So now Nitin is going to log in here. Let's log in here, Nitin. Now Nitin is an employee. See, no setup and maintenance because we have not assigned application implementation consultant role. So he cannot access admin environment. Means he cannot access FSM environment because he's just employee. He's not in IT team, right? He's not from the IT team. So I have not given the permission. He can just perform. Only employee role I have assigned, basic role. Employee role I have assigned. As an employee, he can just log in. He'll not be able to access any, security console and other things he is not able to access. Still, supplier manager role is not updated. Sometimes what happened, it takes couple of minutes for update. Generally, it will be updated immediately. At this point of time, the roles are not yet updated. Let me just log out and log in. Once we attach roles to the user, we don't need to run any program actually. When we are working with data access, yes, we have to run the you know programs. But when we are talking about the roles, it doesn't require. The moment when we add roles to the user, user will get automatically. Okay, still it's not done. What I'll do is, meanwhile, I'll make this employee as a buyer. I'll make Mr. Nitin as a buyer. Let me log out. I'm going to log in as implementation user. Harish, right? Harish is implementation user. I'm going to make employee as a buyer. Let's go to user account here. Setup and maintenance. Go to procurement. Agent setup. Agent or buyer, both are same. Procurement agent. Agent or buyer, both are same. Go to procurement agent here. Scope is basically select your branch. We can choose any business unit. Now this is the page where we are going to set up employee as buyer, where we are going to set up employee as buyer. Now go for create. For which branch you are going to make this employee as a buyer? For US1 business unit. This is built-in. This is built-in business unit. This we don't find in the real time. We are supposed to configure. We'll be discussing with the client how many companies you have, in every company, how many branches we have. Those all things we have to configure. Okay. So we can't expect that every client will have only one company, right? Some clients will have one company, some clients will have multiple companies, multiple branches, means multiple business units. Okay. So I'm going to say that Mr. Nitin is a agent for this branch. Choose this agent. Nitin Kumar. You would like to set some default filter, it's okay. After some time, if you want to remove this Nitin as buyer, you can deactivate. And here I can find agent access. What are all the documents he can access? Right now, my requirement is I want to give the permission to Nitin. He can create supplier. Okay, permission is given. And also access to other agents' documents. For example, when Nitin log into the applications, he can create purchase orders. That's fine. What about other agents' purchase orders? Whether he can access or he can modify or he can create full access. Okay, that. So right now I don't want to show other agents' documents to this buyer, Nitin. So that's why I said none here. Okay, this is the page where we are going to configure employee as a buyer. Now buyer setup is done successfully. Now let me log in with Nitin user. Let me log out from here. Yeah. Now Mr. Nitin, two roles we assigned to Nitin, right? One is employee role. Yes, this is employee role. As I said, employee can check the pay slips here, apply for the leaves, any learning courses, any benefits employee got, wellness, and participations in any voting, expense claiming. Employee will have the profiles, journeys, personal, general. Next, procurement and suppliers. So we added another role, right? Supplier manager. So what is the purpose of this role? Supplier manager is basically to go for assigning the supplier data, supplier creating this here. That's what we are going to do it. Now let's go to suppliers. Go to procurement. We can go to navigator. This we call it as a navigator menu, or we can also go to springboard. This we call it as a springboard. Both are same. Whatever we see here, the same thing we can find here. This is just like a shortcut. So if I want to configure suppliers, we can do it from here. It looks like it's still, it's not fully updated for the user. So only just showing the list, but the pages and all we are not getting. Maybe it takes a couple of minutes time. So we have done employee setup, user setup, and how to configure employee as buyer. We have done. We are now to do the supplier setup. Yeah. Fine. It may take a couple of minutes time. Meanwhile, any doubts here, please. This is actually we are supposed to do. So right now I have done only two setups, employee setup, buyer setup, and user and supplier. So people who are not from ERP background, people may think that it may be complex, or it may require some technical knowledge, or it may require some domain knowledge and all. What I feel is like people who are completed graduation, not having any experience industry, still if they put efficient time, then he can easily learn and get into the ERP market. It's not an complex software. The only thing is you have to have the patience for doing this different scenarios execution. So understanding the scenario is not an complexity, but we need to sit and do it multiple times. The only success for the functional consultants in the ERP is we have to sit and do multiple scenarios testing, and then we have to explain those scenarios. So in our training, we'll be discussing all the scenarios, cycles, interview questions, and answers. As I said, it's a part of our training. So as I given, because most of the students are lacking this because of they are not able to get into the mock interview opportunity, like what different questions, primary basic questions when you are applying as a fresher, when you are applying as experienced consultant, some real-time questions, project-oriented questions. This all. That's why we designed the course, as well as out of the course we designed all these options, like setting up the mock interviews every week. Every weekend we have separate team who will take the mock interviews and make you correction. And module wise, you are going to get 70 to 100 question and answers with practical oriented interview point of view question and answers. That we will give it to you, the Udemy courses, so you can access directly. Generally it is for outside people. It will be showing 1500 to 2000, I think so, in Udemy. But once you enroll for this batch, you will be getting around 4 to 5 Udemy courses free of cost, module wise: inventory FAQs, procurement FAQs, order management FAQs. Okay, so that. And then obviously resume is a part of our training and interview preparations. How will you prepare and all? Still, if you don't get success, like still if you are looking for that, then you can come to the placement. But as per my scenario, general training is sufficient because we are ready to provide everything in the training itself. So you will be able to get the training, resume preparation, interview preparation, FAQs, mock interviews, everything. You can start applying directly after completion of this training. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts, please?
General, like so just what is procurement? Like, I don't know. Like, can you?
Procurement is basically how we will purchase the goods from the suppliers. For example, I'm an individual person, myself, I am Chandra. I want to buy a laptop. So what I'll do? So generally, if I want to buy a laptop, I'll go to shopping. So I'll go for shopping. I look for 2 to 3 shops. And what I do, I take the quotation from them. So what is the rate you will give? How about the payment term? Will you give any discount? How about the service? How about the brand value? This all I'll take it. Finally, I'll buy one item from them. So one out of 2, 3 people, I'll choose the best based on the quality, brand, price, delivery, service. The based on that, I'll go with purchase that. And what I'll do is I'll make the payment. Okay, and I'll get the bill from the shop, right? And I can claim that bill also in case if there is any GST or income tax and other. Then I'll start using this product. After some time, I got some problem. This after some time. So what I'll do, I'll call to service center. Okay. And again, I'll go for get the service from the customer. So this is as a individual person, I am doing this entire cycle. I'm a person. But when we talk about the enterprise, daily hundreds of procurements, they have to do it from every branch. Let's say very small client is having 10 branches. From every branch, 10 times, 10 items they want to buy. So end of the day, it's going to be 100, right? So this entire cycle should happen. This cycle also should have the security restrictions and all, right? That's what entire procurement model.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any? I mean, the PDF material, the steps you are showing in the Fusion console. Like, is there any step by step, or like if you wanted to do, like we have to see the video and follow your steps, or is there any document like that?
We have both the options. Once we explain the video, we will be sharing the video through Google Drive. You can download and go for it. That is one process. The second one is we also share you the cycles. Cycle in the sense when we are talking about procure to pay, there will be a separate document for that. When we go for min-max planning, there will be a separate document. Transfer order, separate document like that. Even Oracle also has given an excellent documentation for the module-wise excellent document they given. But going through the Oracle documentation, understand and preparation will make us very confidence level. See, if I prepare a document, straight away I'll prepare a point to point. But when we go to Oracle document, a lot of things will be there. Out of that, you will pick whatever the information is required, and you will go for configure that in the system. It means you will get a confidence level. Okay, without any help, I can work in the project. I can go to Oracle document and open the documentation, understand, analyze, and configure it. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, fine, guys.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, you're telling about Oracle functional document, Oracle for
Yes.
Fusion Cloud.
Yes.
So what about SAP? Will you teach that also?
SAP.
Yeah. SAP
SAP.
consultant.
SAP.
Yeah.
No, SAP is a different ERP, right?
Yeah, that is different, but
No,
it will
we
both
don't we don't deal with SAP. We are exclusively for Oracle Fusion.
Okay.
If you look at
I'm a SAP end user, so I
Yeah.
am thinking of.
If you look at RTL online training placement, it's purely Oracle Cloud. We are expert in Oracle Cloud, purely
Okay.
Oracle Cloud trainings and placements.
Like both are same Oracle and SAP, but they
Competitors.
are competitors,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We are not into the SAP. That's different.
Okay.
Okay. Fine, guys. It seems the role will take some time. We'll connect tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll show you what is supplier model and how to do the supplier setup. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello. Yes, Chandra, this is Diksha.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, once we have joined RTL and we have provided training, we have attended some internally, we have prepared for interviews. And once we go for any interview like TCS or some other company, so we will be going directly as a supply chain, as a functional consultant or a team member or end user.
Functional
Or they will
consultant,
be
not
functional
end user.
consultant.
Not end user. Of course, we are eligible for end user job also, but
Okay.
we are going to apply as a functional consultant. See, end user, how much they give package? 4 to 5 lakhs per year in India.
Okay.
When you go as a functional consultant, beginning package is 15 lakhs. Starting package. Yes.
Yes, but we don't have that much experience, right? So whatever you are providing, we can learn. But as a direct implementation, we have not done any implementation.
No, not a problem. See, whatever the training we are giving, like as I said, this training, whatever the training we are giving here, if you are perfect theoretically and practically, 100% you can get a job in functional and you are fit to work as independent consultant. It's a promise from RTL. Whatever the training here we are giving, if you are perfect theoretically and practically, if you are able to deliver, if you are able to execute all this without any help, either from document or from video, okay, then you will be able to do all the things here. So you can easily work independently.
So if we are going for interview, so they will ask for at least a 3 to 4 years experience and to implement projects, right? So those will be all handled by RTL.
Yes, complete. We are equal to 3 to 5 years experience consultant after completion of this syllabus training.
Okay, because I am working in Cognizant now as IT procurement in renewals.
Yeah.
So we are using our
No
Oracle
problem.
R12
It's like Oracle EBS. As I said yesterday, it was previous on-premise ERP. Now we are going for cloud here now.
So earlier I worked for Oracle 11.9, then R12. So I have experience in accounts payable as well as IT procurement and renewals.
Yeah.
So my shift is totally night shift. So my question is, how can I attend the classes? Is it offline or online?
It's complete online.
Online. Okay. So what will be the timings?
Same timing. So whatever we
Same
are
time
giving to
classes. Okay.
8:30 to 9:30. If somebody is having any problem, every video will be recorded, shared through Google Drive. You can download, and we will have WhatsApp group. Any doubts are there? I'm also the part of the WhatsApp group, so you can raise the request and all.
Okay. So daily it will be 1 hour or 2 hours
1
session?
hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. 1 hour general class
Then
timing, 15 minutes doubts and other things will be there, right?
class. Will I get we get any hard copy? So how we go for one by step?
Soft copy we will have, not hard copy.
Okay.
We will have MS Word documents or PDF or Excel sheets.
Okay. So that we can take that printouts and make it as a document. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Fine, guys. Let's see you tomorrow. It looks like there is some delay in the role supply. We'll see that tomorrow. Supplier data model and supplier setup. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Let's see you tomorrow.
Hello? Hello, Chandra.
Yeah, please.
So one question, like, so currently I'm working ERP application as tester.
Okay.
So currently there is a migration, like upgradation happening, means they are upgrading to CG1, not in cloud. So what it mean by CG1 and
Maybe they are updating in the same, like the versions. They will have different versions in that application,
okay.
ERP application. So finally, what Oracle is telling, everybody should come to the cloud where you will get all options and more support, flexibility. And
Okay, so means example R12 to R12 something version they are upgrading, right?
R12, it was old. That's what old ERP on
Okay, okay.
premises. Now this is cloud.
So one more question, like as you said, maybe in future the all needs to move to cloud, right? But they can directly upgrade it to cloud, but why can't they just upgrading?
See, it's like as simple as if the client is flexible with the existing ERP, then they'll not be immediate. They will not be in a hurry mode to move into cloud. So in that again, see, if they want to go for cloud again, they have to purchase the license, right? Purchasing license and do all this implementation, customizations and all.
Sorry, Chandra, I missed your
See,
conversation.
if they are using the existing ERP, right?
Okay.
The
Yeah.
old ERP. So if they want to move to the cloud, again, it's an implementation cost as well as the delay, delivery, and all. It will take time and
Okay.
expensive. But in the old ERP itself, Oracle will be giving the latest releases into the market. So they are okay with the old product, old ERP, and they'll go for update to the new versions. Going forward, maybe after 2-3 years, they may move into the cloud. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Thank
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
you. Yes. Yeah. Fine, guys. Let's see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be our third demo session on the same meeting ID and the same time. And that will be our final demo. From Thursday onwards, regular classes will be started. Okay, let's see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we do the supplier setup and we talk about supplier model and we take one business scenario and we also configure that scenario tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Thank you.